Picture this. You're at a crowded bar in downtown Chicago, the kind of place where the music's loud and the drinks are overpriced. You're with your girlfriend. A simple comment about her being late again spirals into a full-blown argument. Her voice rises. Your jaw tightens. Suddenly, you're not just debating punctuality, you're fighting for the whole damn relationship. Sound familiar? Most men have been there, trapped in a cycle of conflict they didn't see coming and don't know how to stop. But what if I told you there's a way to end these fights before they even start? Not by backing down, not by bulldozing her, but by wielding a psychological edge so sharp it turns her defensiveness into cooperation. I haven't had a real argument with a woman, girlfriend, colleague, or friend in over 3 years. And no, I'm not some spineless pushover. I set boundaries. I call out bad behavior. I hold my ground. But I do it in a way that makes women want to align with me, not fight me. Today I'm handing you the blueprint to do the same, a playbook rooted in female psychology that most men never crack. Ready to rewrite how you handle relationships? Let's dive into the first key to making that happen. Understanding the amplification principle. Why her emotions aren't what you think. To master relationships without conflict, you need to grasp a truth most men miss. Women don't just hear your words, they feel your energy, and they amplify it. This is what I call the amplification principle. Say you're frustrated because she forgot to text you about her plans. You let a slight edge creep into your voice. Nothing major, just a hint of irritation. To you, it's a minor blip. To her, it's a signal her nervous system picks up and magnifies into a full-blown threat. Before you know it, she's not responding to your words. She's reacting to the emotional static you didn't even know you were broadcasting. Research backs this up. Women are biologically wired to be more sensitive to vocal tone and emotional subtext than men. It's not manipulation, it's evolution. Thousands of years ago, a woman's survival depended on reading the subtlest cues in her environment, whether it was a baby's cry or a mate's mood. Miss those cues, and her kids didn't make it. Catch them, and she thrived. Think about the last time a small disagreement blew up. Maybe you were at a diner arguing over who was supposed to pick up the check. You thought you were being reasonable, but your tone carried a trace of annoyance. To her, that wasn't just annoyance, it was a red flag that you were pulling away. Her brain amplified it. Suddenly, you're not talking about the check anymore. You're defending your entire connection. The amplification principle means that every ounce of negative energy you put out, irritation, judgment, contempt, comes back tenfold. But here's the flip side. Give her warmth, and she'll reflect that back too. Send calm confidence, and she'll mirror receptivity. The first step to never fighting is controlling the emotional input you're feeding her. Choosing the right woman, the art of selection. Before you even think about mastering communication, you need to focus on choosing the right woman. Not every woman is built for a peaceful relationship. Trying to fix a chaos-driven woman is like trying to tame a wildfire with a water bottle. Some women thrive on drama. Think of the coworker who always has a crisis, or the date who turns every minor issue into a soap opera. These women aren't broken, they're wired for conflict. To avoid endless fights, you need to develop what I call early warning systems. This means treating dating like a high-stakes vetting process, not a desperate grab for connection. Picture yourself on a first date at a rooftop bar. She's charming, but you notice she snaps at the waiter over a wrong order. Later, she tells you a story about her crazy ex who was always the problem. Red flags. Drama-addicted women reveal themselves early if you know where to look. They're rude to people who can't benefit them. They blame everyone else for their conflicts. They test your boundaries with subtle jabs, then reward chaos while punishing stability. The solution: Build optionality. Date enough women that you're never tethered to one who's a walking red flag. If you're in a small town with fewer options, use apps, expand your social circle, or take up new hobbies to meet more people. When you've got choices, you can walk away from a woman who lives for the fight without a second thought. The easiest way to never argue is to never invest in someone who's addicted to arguments. Avoiding the cold trap. Why emotionless doesn't work. Once you've chosen a woman worth your time, the next challenge is communicating in a way that doesn't trigger her defenses. Here's where most men trip up. They think going cold and logical will keep things calm. You've seen it. A guy gets frustrated, so he shuts down, speaks in a flat robotic tone, thinking it signals control. To a woman, that's not control. It's abandonment. Women bond through emotional connection. When you strip your voice of warmth, her brain reads it as a threat to the relationship itself. Evolutionary psychology explains why. For thousands of years, a man's emotional distance could signal he was about to abandon his partner and their children, a life or death scenario in ancient times. Her instincts kick in. She escalates to pull you back, even if it means picking a fight. She'd rather have you angry than absent. To sidestep this trap, you need to embrace tone mastery. Imagine you're a coach talking to a rookie player who messed up a play. You don't yell. You don't go cold. You speak with firm warmth like you're invested in their growth. That's the tone you want with women. Remove irritation or judgment from your voice, but keep the care. Speak like you're talking to someone you'd take a bullet for, even when you're calling out a problem. For example, instead of saying, "You're always late," try, "Hey, I love spending time with you." When you're late, it throws us off. Let's figure out how to make this work. The message is the same, but the warmth keeps her defenses down. Master this tone, and she'll not only hear you, she'll want to listen. The warmth sandwich, framing corrections with care. Now let's get tactical with an approach I call the warmth sandwich. To address issues without sparking a fight, you need to wrap your corrections in emotional safety. Start with connection. Deliver your boundary, then end with reassurance. Imagine you're at a friend's BBQ and your girlfriend snaps at you in front of everyone. Instead of firing back, stop being rude. Try this. "Babe, you know I'm crazy about you and I want us to shine together." When you snap like that, it doesn't feel like us at our best. We're a team. Let's figure out how to keep things smooth. You're not softening the message. You're framing it with care. This approach disarms her defenses because it signals you're invested in her, not just in being right. The warmth sandwich works because it speaks to her emotional wiring. Women aren't just processing your words, they're feeling your intent. If your tone says, "I'm here for us," instead of, "You're wrong," she'll lean in rather than push back. Practice this in low-stakes moments like when she forgets to lock the door. It'll become second nature when the stakes are higher. The curious observer, turning criticism into connection. Another powerful way to keep conflicts from escalating is to approach issues with curiosity, not judgment. Most men lead with accusations. "Why are you overreacting?" That's a one-way ticket to a fight. Instead, adopt what I call the curious observer mindset. Picture yourself at a family dinner. She's upset because you didn't back her up in a debate with your cousin. Instead of saying, "You're making a big deal out of nothing," try, "I can see you're upset. What's going on for you? Help me understand." This positions you as an ally, not an enemy. Women open up to curiosity because it makes them feel seen, not attacked. You're not surrendering your point. You're inviting her to share hers, which lowers her guard and opens the door to real conversation. The shared problem frame. You and her versus the issue. Conflicts often feel like battles because men frame them as you versus her. To change the dynamic, use the shared problem frame where it's you and her versus the problem. Say you're arguing over who's handling the bills. Instead of, "You're not pulling your weight," say, "We've got a budgeting issue here. How do you think we can tackle it together?" This pulls her into problem-solving mode, not defensive mode. It's like you're both on the same team, strategizing against a common opponent. Women respond to this because it reinforces the emotional bond even during disagreement. You're not fighting her, you're fighting the issue together. Emotional validation. Meeting her where she is. Women often escalate because they don't feel heard. To short-circuit this, practice emotional validation. Acknowledge her feelings before addressing the behavior. Imagine she's upset because you missed her friend's birthday party. Instead of, "It wasn't a big deal," try, "I can see you're really hurt and that makes sense. You care about your friends. Let's figure out how to make this right." Validation doesn't mean you're agreeing with her. It means you're showing you get her. Once she feels understood, she's far more open to hearing your side or changing her approach. Future focus. Building forward, not dwelling back. Dwelling on what went wrong traps women in shame or defensiveness, which fuels more conflict. To avoid this, shift to a future focus. Say you're frustrated because she keeps leaving dishes in the sink. Instead of, "You're so messy," say, "The dishes thing happened and it's not a big deal. What I'm interested in is how we can keep the kitchen smooth going forward." This keeps her focused on progress, not guilt, and makes her an active partner in fixing things. It's not about erasing the past. It's about building a better future together. Creating emotional safety, the foundation of attraction. Here's where things get advanced. The best men don't just avoid fights. They turn potential conflicts into opportunities to deepen connection. This starts with creating emotional safety. When she's emotional, don't match her intensity or pull away. Be the calm, warm center she can rely on. Imagine she's stressed about work and snaps at you over dinner. Instead of snapping back or going silent, say, "I can tell work's got you on edge. Talk to me. What do you need right now?" Deliver it with genuine warmth, not condescension. This shows you're unshaken by her storm, which is magnetic. Women want a man who can handle their emotions without crumbling or trying to fix them with logic. When she knows you won't punish her for feelings, she'll trust you completely. That trust is the foundation of attraction. She'll see you as her rock, not her rival. Leadership through warmth. Inspiring, not controlling. The ultimate goal isn't just to avoid fights. It's to become the kind of man women naturally want to follow. This is about leadership through warmth. You're not controlling her through fear or manipulation. You're inspiring her to align with you because being with you feels better than fighting you. When you combine tone mastery with emotional intelligence, you don't just resolve conflicts. You turn them into moments that strengthen the relationship. She'll start to see your corrections as guidance, not criticism, because they come from care, not control. This is effortless influence leadership that feels so natural she doesn't even realize she's following. The truth about conflict with women is that it's not about the surface issues, money time, or who's right. It's about deeper emotional needs, safety, connection, understanding. When you master these strategies, you're not just dodging fights. You're building relationships where fights don't happen because you're both on the same side. This isn't about being soft or suppressing your masculinity. It's about expressing it in a way that creates cooperation, not resistance. Strong boundaries delivered with warmth are more powerful than harsh words ever could be. Women don't respond to your logic. They respond to your energy. Master your emotional input, and you control their emotional output. What's your take? Have you seen the amplification principle at play in your own life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this blueprint gave you a new lens on relationships, Hit that like button, share this with a friend who needs it, and subscribe for more insights on mastering attraction mindset and emotional dominance. Let's keep building men who don't just survive relationships, they lead them with strength and wisdom.